support to 88022. I believe you will be key in helping defeat Joe Biden.
President Donald J. Trump gave us the most secure and prosperous economy in the U.S. history. Unemployment hit record lows. 7 million new jobs created under his leadership. The stock market hit record highs over and over again. Americans' household net worth soared trillions of dollars higher than ever before. And job-killing pacts like NAFTA canceled and replaced by the greatest deal maker alive today. President Trump made our economy great once. He's ready to do it again.
I'm Newt Gingrich, and I'm here at the Republican National Convention. And I'm asking you to help President Donald Trump win the White House and kick Joe Biden out of there. If you'll send whatever you can afford to 88022, I believe you will be key in helping defeat Joe Biden.
Our southern border in crisis. Enemies of America pouring in. Your family at risk. Working families struggling to pay the rent, buy groceries, pay for gas. Yet Washington is paralyzed. But this week at the convention in Milwaukee, Republicans are developing a plan to end inflation, secure the border, make groceries and life.
Please welcome the Lieutenant Governor and current candidate for governor of North Carolina, Mark Robinson.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you. First and foremost, I want to give thanks to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for giving us my life and health and strength, allowing me to be here and allowing us to live in this blessed and prosperous land. I am Mark Robinson. I am the first black lieutenant governor of North Carolina. And come November, I plan on being the first black governor of North Carolina. But I am not one of the political elite. I grew up poor as the ninth of 10 kids in Greensboro with an alcoholic father who beat my mother. I love to tell you that I graduated from high school, found success, never worried about money again, but I can't. I lost 2 jobs, 2 manufacturing jobs because of NAFTA, which, by the way, Joe Biden voted for. Politicians in D.C. made bad decisions. People like me suffered. I lost my car and my house. I was desperate. But you know, my story isn't unique. A couple of months ago in my travels, I stopped at a gas station. As I was leaving, a man walked out with a beard, and he looked very stressed. He got in his car, and I could see him holding an envelope. My heart dropped, because years ago, I held one just like it. It was bankruptcy papers. I could see the fear on his face. And it took me back to lying awake at night with that gnawing worrying, debating which bills weren't going to get paid. Unfortunately, many families today are having that same experience. Under Joe Biden, grocery prices have skyrocketed, and gas has nearly doubled. In North Carolina, factories just like the one I worked at are closing, leaving families feeling hopeless. But there is hope, and I'm proof. My wife and I never gave up. We kept our faith. We worked hard and made it through those tough times. Now I stand before you on the verge of becoming the first black governor of North Carolina. As governor, I will not forget where I came from or the struggles of the people I meet. And you know, there's someone else who will fight just as hard for you. President Donald J. Trump. The brave heart of our time, President Trump had our economy roaring. Gas was up below $2. Unemployment was at a historic low. People could afford homes. And we had a president who protected manufacturing jobs. Under President Trump, the American dream was alive and well. Under President Trump, there was hope. And we need that now more than ever. So this November, let's select the brave heart of our time, Donald J. Trump, to get our economy back on track, restore the American dream, and make America great again. God bless you all, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Never give in. We will never give up. We will not bend, we will not break, we will not yield, we will never give in, we will never give up.
Hi everyone, Eric Trump. I'm so honored to be here. I'm so honored to be a delegate. I am so honored to be speaking at this convention for a third time. We are going to send my father back to the White House. We are going to win on November.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Texas. Love you. Love you, Texas. A president's greatest responsibility is to protect the American people. And both Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have failed. I'm a military guy. I flew Apaches in Iraq. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I understand that when you're given a mission, you show up, you identify the problem, and you execute. Biden and Harris haven't shown up. They don't seem to understand that they are the problem, and they've shown no empathy or remorse as the American people suffer from their failed leadership. They have imposed what Ronald Reagan called the cruelest tax on the poor, inflation. Today, 65% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck because the dollar is worth less and less every day. Grocery prices have soared. Average Americans are spending $4,300 more on energy bills. But on November the 5th, we, the people, can fix this Democrat disaster. We can fix this disaster when we re-elect Donald John Trump as president and send him right back to where he belongs, the White House. Under President Trump, American families had more money in their pockets and bank accounts. American families could invest, save, and buy a home. Under President Trump, we had the greatest economy in our lifetime, and in less than 4 years under Joe Biden, everything changed. Ladies and gentlemen, that is why we must win in November to take our country back. We owe it to future generations to embrace this pivotal moment. I owe it to my two daughters, Victoria and Olivia. I owe it to my 1-year-old little boy, Willie, and I owe it to all American children and their future. I'm the great-great-grandson of a slave. I'm the son of a retired lieutenant colonel. I'm the product of West Point along with my other two siblings. And I risked my life in combat to preserve our nation. Now, there's another man who is putting it all on the line to save our nation. His name is President Donald Trump. And with your help in November, and with his unbending resolve, together we will make America great again. God bless you, Milwaukee. May God continue to bless these United States of America. Thank you.
Please welcome U.S. Army veteran, Representative John James from Michigan's 10th Congressional District.
Good evening, Wisconsin. Warmest regards from Detroit, home of the NFC North champion, Detroit Lions. Well, in seriousness, didn't Wesley do a great job? One of my West Point classmates, class of 2004, and there's another Midwestern boy who did a great job. Our vice presidential nominee, J.D. Vance. Another Midwestern boy. You know, he's going to need some help when he comes up to Michigan. I'll do everything I can, but he might be the first Buckeye to win in Michigan since last time Trump was in office. But Those are two great American dream stories from the Hunt family and from the Vance family, but I have another American dream story to tell you about. It's about a little boy from Starkville, Mississippi, who lived directly across the street from Mississippi State University, but he couldn't go there because he was black. Despite growing up in the Jim Crow South, he refused to let vulnerability become victimhood. He paid his way through college, served honorably in Vietnam, and started a trucking company with one truck, one trailer, and no excuses, hauling beer back and forth between Detroit and Milwaukee. I grew up in awe of that story because it's my dad's story. It's part of my story. He and my mother raised me never telling me that this is a racist country. Never. Never. Even though we have marked blemishes in our past, even though we have much farther to go, even though they endured racism, it did not define the nation they loved. They taught me I could do anything I set my mind to. They taught me to put the Lord first always. They taught me to use my blessings to be a blessing to others. And that's what we're doing here today. That's why I went to West Point. I became a Ranger qualified Apache pilot and flew 750 hours operations in Operation Iraqi Freedom. You know, there's something else me and President Trump have in common. The bad guys shot at us both, but they missed. And we'll keep on fighting for America until the good Lord takes us home. By the grace of God, I was able to come home after my deployment and help run the company business. Now I have the honor of representing Michigan's 10th Congressional District, the #1 manufacturing district in the best state in the entire union. My family's story is the American dream story. But my biggest concern right now, my biggest fear, is will children today be able to look back and share that same story? Look, I firmly believe Americans have not given up on the American dream. Joe Biden and the Democrats have given up on the American dream. Joe Biden and the Democrats think they know how to spend your money better than you do. They want to take your dollars, they want to take your voice, they want to take your control and give it back to DC bureaucrats to execute their woke and Green New Deal agenda. Well, that plan doesn't work because hope is not a plan. Black people were sold on hope. Now our streets are rife with crime. Our kids can't read, and illegals are getting better help from Democrats in 4 days than we've gotten in 400 years. Look, our daughters were sold on hope, and now they're being forced on the playing fields and changing rooms of biological males. America was sold on hope, and now the world's on fire. Our borders are wide open, and Americans are going into debt to pay for their groceries. But look. We don't even have to imagine a brighter day. We just have to remember, under President Donald J. Trump, we had a secure border. Under President Donald J. Trump, we had peace in Europe. And under President Donald J. Trump, we had an economy so good. We had an economy so good, Democrats were trying to give Obama the credit for it. Look. Yeah, I heard a little bit earlier today, if you don't vote for Donald Trump, you ain't black. But see, here's the thing. By the grace of God and the proven leadership of Donald Trump, for every American, regardless of race, color, and creed, we can once again have a land where a child's outcome isn't determined by their zip code. We can once again have a land where hard work truly does get you ahead. We can once again have a land where you can go from poverty to prosperity in a single generation. I believe that land is still America. America's the greatest idea that's ever been. America, I believe deeply in my heart, America's the greatest idea that's ever been. It's worth fighting for, it's worth sacrificing for, and it's worth getting out to vote for, because I truly believe in the deepest heart of hearts that with Donald J. Trump back in the White House, the best is yet to come. God bless you. Thank you. God bless America.
To show families just how much more they're spending on gas under Biden and Harris than they did under President Trump, we placed these signs at gas pumps. When President Trump left office, gas cost only $2.20. Under Biden and Harris, gas skyrocketed to the highest price in history, over $5 a gallon.
$5 a gallon is the highest historically it's ever been. It hurts my heart, it hurts my budget, it just hurts.
I've never seen it this high before, with the gas prices being the way that they are.
They're terrible. They're outrageous, overpriced.
Our paychecks are like a third of what they used to be just because of gas prices. We have to choose between, am I going to fill up my car all the way or am I going to buy a prescription?
Whenever Trump was in office, it took me about $45 to fill up, and now it's about $75 to $80. A lot of pain every time you go to the gas pump, and I know I'm not the only one that feels it.
Within my first year of driving, I'm having to deal with an average of 503 across the nation.
I feel it every time I fill up.
Well, it certainly affects my saving because it's hard to save when everything you're making is going out for groceries and gasoline.
With the gas costing more, of course the food costs more, and also cuts into doing charitable activities, like try to deliver food to needy children.
Families right now are living paycheck to paycheck, and it's going to get worse.
How people with families do it on a normal average income, I don't see how they can pay it and have any money left over even to pay for gas.
I don't think Bidenomics works for anybody. My family can't afford any more of him.
It's impossible to pay $5.03. We need to care about our people better than that.
There are going to be 41 million new Gen Z voters this upcoming election, and when they go to cast their vote, I mean, that's definitely going to take a toll on which way they lean.
I'm voting for Trump because me and my family want to pay this amount for gasoline.
We don't need any more of this. We need more of this.
To show families just how much more they're spending on groceries under Biden and Harris than they did under President Trump, we placed these signs in grocery stores.
You got a 49% increase under Joe Biden.
I mean, a tremendous increase. It just goes on and on.
It's ridiculous.
I have definitely seen a price increase since Biden has been president.
The food prices are astronomical. They're unaffordable.
They're still going up. Every week you see something else that's gone up higher.
It's hurting everybody. When we grocery shopped, 5, 6 years ago, this is not the same grocery store that I remember.
I do without a lot of things that I shouldn't because we can't afford it.
Everything in the store is double the price. I mean, we're talking $600 a week just for my family of 6.
I think it's especially hard on families with children. A lot of people are using food banks that never would have used food banks before.
Living on Social Security or just disability, it's very difficult to be able to maintain the expenses.
I have several elderly friends. They can't even get their medicine some months because they're paying so much for gas and groceries.
When you check out, it's shocking. It's shocking what the increase is. Everything.
Joe Biden's policy, Kamala's policies, they're killing us.
But since Biden's come in, I gotta say it's gotten worse, and they don't even care.
I served this country, and I've seen the biggest change in my entire life in these last 3.5 years. If you want to save this country, you need to vote for President Trump.
Please welcome American mother, Sarah Workman.
Good evening. I'm Sarah Workman from the great state of Arizona. Woo! I'm honored to be here tonight on behalf of everyday Americans. I'm a single mother who works 2 jobs to support my family. I know Americans can relate when I say that every time I fill up my gas tank, go to the grocery store, and try to pay the bills, I think, who doesn't miss the Trump days? But it's not just the economic pain we're all feeling under Joe Biden. It's how they're destroying the American spirit. Everywhere we look, there's pain, chaos, and crisis. Inflation, open borders, woke indoctrination in our schools, violence in our cities, and unjust rulings in our courts. All of it is eroding one of America's greatest strengths, our optimism. While the left is trying to divide us with identity politics, we are here tonight because we believe that America is always, should be, one nation under God. In addition to the economic pain, the Democrats' open border policies have shattered my family. With drugs so readily available, my husband fell victim to the drug epidemic. It tore our family apart, and now I raise my son alone. But I know there is hope. That is what this election represents for all of us who have been forgotten over the last 4 years. Hope. We need God in our hearts and Donald Trump back in the White House. If you're watching tonight and you hear your own story and mine, Donald Trump put me on this stage to show that he hears us, he sees us, and we are forgotten no more. I find peace in God's promise that says, if my people who are called by my name would humble themselves and pray, I will heal your nation. Amen. With faith, hope, and love in my heart, I know we will make America great again.
Please welcome United States Senator Katie Britt of Alabama.
Good evening, Milwaukee. I'm Katie Britt. We are all here tonight for one reason. We need to change the direction of our nation. And Donald Trump is the change we need. To my fellow moms and dads across America, I think we all know that raising a family is hard. Add in smartphones and social media, and we already had plenty to worry about. But then Joe Biden and Kamala Harris came around. Now our lives are that much more difficult. Under Biden-Harris, prices are high. And expectations, well, they're low. Grocery prices are up more than 21%. Electricity is up 31%. Gas is up 48%. Mortgage rates have more than doubled. And rent is skyrocketing. To me, these aren't just numbers. This is pain for millions of Americans. It means that so many American families have to live with so much less. This is too high a price to pay for an administration that has brought us to such lows. The American people won't have the wool pulled over our eyes. We see how Biden and Harris keep making things worse. And we know the current president is not capable of turning things around. His weakness is costing us our opportunity, our prosperity, our security, our safety. Each diminished, all in decline, just like the man in the Oval Office. And it doesn't have to be this way. Under President Trump, we had the strongest economy in history. That's right. You didn't need to go into debt just to make ends meet. Energy dominant, stable prices, secure borders, safe streets, strong families and communities. That's what Donald Trump will deliver. With President Trump, the tough choice was which job offer to accept. Now, it's which second job to take just to pay the bills. Your family can't afford this costly and dangerous decline for 4 more years. 4 more years of Biden-Harris will impose a lifetime of financial damage on our children and our nation. It is time to return President Trump to the White House. Yes. Republicans will put parents, families, and hard-working Americans first. With President Trump back in the White House, we will reawaken the exceptionalism of the greatest nation ever known. We will defeat decline, dust off our dreams, and forge our future. Because families across our nation deserve better. Once again, America will be the land of limitless opportunity for all. And paving that path starts today. So let's roll up our sleeves, send President Trump back to the White House, and get America back on track. God bless.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome United States Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina.
Wow. 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 Thank you so much. Thank you. Hello, Milwaukee! Are you ready for 4 more years of Donald Trump? Oh, me too. Listen, if you didn't believe in miracles before Saturday, you better be believing right now. Thank God Almighty that we live in a country that still believes in the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, the Alpha and the Omega. And our God still saves, He still delivers, and He still sets free. Because on Saturday, the devil came to Pennsylvania holding a rifle, but an American lion got back up on his feet and he roared. Oh yeah, he roared. Yes, yes he did. You see, America, this is a difficult time for our nation. Inflation is crushing families. Illegal immigration is crushing American workers. Failing schools and victimhood culture are crushing our poorest kids. And the weakness of the commander-in-chief has invited world wars all around our world. Joe Biden is asleep at the wheel, and we're headed over a cliff. We hear despair in the voices of a millennial couple raising 2 kids in a 1-bedroom apartment because they can't afford a house. We see pain on the faces of Gold Star parents because their commander-in-chief, Joe Biden, literally forgets their son died in uniform on his watch. America, we deserve better. We deserve so much better. I was raised by a single mom in poverty. We had plastic spoons, not silver spoons. But she taught me to work hard, to take responsibility, and reject victimhood. Thank God for my wonderful mama. I know this is going to offend the liberal elites. Every time I say it, it offends them. But let me say it one more time. America is not a racist country. No, we're not. But if you were looking for racism today, you'd find it in cities run by Democrats. Look on the south side of Chicago. Poor black kids trapped in failing schools. Thousands shot every single year, including one of my former interns, Daquan. But there's good news. It's conservative values that restores hope. It's Republican policies that lifts people up. I partnered with the greatest president of my generation, President Donald J. Trump. On the biggest tax cuts ever for working people and single moms, and opportunity zones for neighborhoods that need them most. But Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, they give illegal immigrants free hotel rooms while our veterans sleep on the streets. Disgusting, disgusting. Trump secured our border once, and Donald Trump will secure it again. Listen, this November, we are not deciding simply the fate for the next 4 years. We're setting a course for the next 40 years. I see our heartland filled with huge American factories, powered by abundant American energy, building what America needs, creating generational wealth for blue-collar workers. You see, we are the Republican Party of Frederick Douglass and of Abraham Lincoln, of Ronald Reagan and Donald Trump. But 4 more years. I love it. Awesome. We are not simply the party of our leaders. We are also the party of a young woman in Wisconsin taking over her family farm, an Hispanic father working 16-hour days in Nevada, and a black teenager in Philly starving for opportunity. We're not just the grand old party of the past. We are the great opportunity party of America's future. And there's only, hear me clearly, and there's only one person who can make that vision a reality: Donald J. Trump. God bless America.
Teach me how to
This is the man responsible for your family's home economy. He can't even walk up steps or put on his own coat. Biden's incompetence is financially crushing Americans. One of Biden's first acts as president was to raise taxes, then create a new army of IRS agents to go get the money. Biden's inflation tax costs American families more than $11,000 a year. Under Biden, the highest inflation in 40 years, sickening grocery prices, highest gas prices in history, while Americans' incomes have fallen 3 straight years. Now, Biden's proposing a new $4.9 trillion tax hike, the largest ever, $36,000 per American family, and an end to the Trump tax cuts. It's obvious Biden must be fired. President Trump didn't just give us the strongest economy in the world, he gave us the largest tax cuts in history. And he'll do it again, including bringing back the Trump tax cuts for your family. President Trump's also going to provide economic relief for millions of American service workers who have been ignored by Biden.
You're looking at America's service workers. And they're over 150 million strong. Waitresses and waiters. Drivers and doormen. Bartenders and baristas. And like so many others in Joe Biden's America, they're struggling economically. The majority now live paycheck to paycheck. Their credit card balances at record highs, at astronomical interest rates, and their incomes are down 3 straight years. The good news? Help is on the way. President Trump's economic plan to restart America includes no tax on tips earned by our service workers. A huge financial shot in the arm. You see, unlike Biden, President Trump doesn't want these Americans to just survive. He wants them to thrive. President Trump, he'll make America affordable again.
Please welcome the Governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia, Glenn Youngkin.
Yes, Joe must go. Good evening. I'm Glenn Youngkin, the governor. The governor of the home of Washington, Jefferson, Madison, and Monroe, the great Commonwealth of Virginia. Tonight, we stop for a moment. We ask for God's grace to be on innocent victims. We ask him to be with their families. We thank him for this moment of unity. And we thank him for protecting our next president, Donald J. Trump. And tonight, our nation can have the conversation that so many families have at their kitchen tables. Yes, those tough conversations. How do we make it all work? The conversation young families from Midlothian, Virginia till Milwaukee, Wisconsin, whose dreams of buying a home have been shattered by 7.5% mortgage rates. The veterans from Fredericksburg, Virginia to Phoenix, Arizona, whose raises can't keep up with 30% increases in grocery prices and 40% increases in gas. The retirees from Roanoke, Virginia to Reno, Nevada, whose fixed income has been crushed by the silent thief of inflation unleashed by Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Tonight, America, the land of opportunity, just doesn't feel like that anymore. But 8 years ago, there was an outsider, a businessman, who stepped out of his career to rebuild a great nation with the strongest economy, the mightiest military, energy independence, unlimited opportunity, lifting up every American. That outsider businessman was Donald J. Trump, and he will do it again. I'm proud to be a homegrown Virginian, from a family like a lot of families, with ups and downs and highs and lows. My mom was a nurse, and she was my hero. She pulled our family together after my dad lost his job. At 15, washing dishes and flipping eggs, I learned that there is dignity in work. At the height of the pandemic 4 years ago, I asked my amazing wife, Suzanne, to go on a walk with me. I told her I planned to quit my job and run for governor. She looked at me with tears in her eyes and a quivering lip and asked, "Governor of what?" We prayed together, and we asked God for guidance and wisdom, and we said if elected, we would serve. After 12 years of only electing Democrats statewide, in November 2021, Virginians elected a Republican outside businessman as their 74th governor. And I believe this year, Virginia will elect another Republican outside businessman as President of the United States. President Trump proved that common sense conservative leadership works. It works for America. And we're proving it in Virginia, too. $5 billion of tax relief, backing the blue. Slashing red tape, declaring loudly that, yes, parents matter. And creating jobs, lots of jobs. Virginia now has record job growth, and we were just named America's top state for business. Friends, could this election be more simple? It's common sense versus chaos. It's strength versus weakness. Friends, it's not just Republicans who see this. It's Republicans, independents, and lots of Democrats. It's Americans. Under President Trump, America had high growth and low inflation. Under Joe Biden, America has low growth and high inflation. 66% of Americans now live paycheck to paycheck. Moms and dads worrying, can they buy new shoes for their kids going back to school? Can they write the tuition check for college? Will they ever be able to retire? Under President Trump, 2.4 million Americans were lifted out of poverty. Women, Black Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans all saw record low employment. Under Donald J. Trump, we once again will have that rip-roaring economy that lifts up all Americans. That is our tomorrow. A tomorrow where work is celebrated, where taxes are cut, and inflation is slashed, where we cut red tape, where we unleash American energy dominance, where businesses proudly say, "Made in America." Where entrepreneurs dream, and small businesses thrive, where Americans from any background can pour their God-given talents into building their American dream. This is the moment. This is our moment to make America the land of opportunity again. A nation built on a basic truth, that we are granted certain unalienable rights, not by a king, but by an almighty creator. And that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Our foundational principles are non-negotiable. They are inscribed on our national soul. My fellow Americans, the spirit of hope is spreading. Everyone can feel it, and it will sweep across this nation when we elect Donald J. Trump, the 47th President of the United States. May God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Please welcome the CEO of Goya Foods, America First Policy Institute board member, and chairman of the Hispanic Leadership Coalition, Mr. Bob Unanue.
Buenas noches, familia. Good evening, family. Wow. Gracias. 4 years ago, I dared to say that we were blessed by Donald J. Trump, a builder. Got into trouble for that. But more than a builder, he's a courageous leader. And he will bring this nation closer to God. He will bring strength to America. And he will bring prosperity back to America. And that's what my grandfather did as a 17-year-old in 1903. He packed his clothes and his dreams in a suitcase, and he got aboard a steamship. Like millions of other immigrants, he sought nothing more than a chance to build a better life. His American dream began when he opened a small grocery store in Manhattan. With love and determination, he built it into the largest Hispanic-owned food company in the United States.